Hello there and welcome to this presentation. Today we are going to look at IELTS writing task 2, which is an essay task. You are required to write an essay and there are different types of essays. However, today we are going to look at both views essay, and if you follow this closely, by the end of the lesson you are going to be a pro in writing IELTS task essays. I will be mentioning some of the things that I do emphasize when you're writing your IELTS task 2, both views essay. So it's really very important that you follow carefully and you will get all the important items when writing this task. So what we have here, we have a question that is what you can see first here, which is in bold. And then we shall interpret the question. And after interpreting the question, we shall go down to seeing the outline. And then we shall see the sample answer in the form of an essay. So I want to invite you to go with me in this particular journey. We do it step by step, and by the end of the lesson you shall understand what you're supposed to do. So firstly, we need to understand the question. You cannot write a good essay without understanding the question. You need to understand the question. So let's read the question together and see how to break it down so that we can understand it. So the question says, some people believe that it is good to share as much information as possible in scientific research, business, and the academic world. Others believe that some information is too important or too valuable to be shared freely. Discuss both these views and give your own opinion. Give reasons for your answer and include any relevant examples from your own knowledge and experience. So what we can see here is that the question has two parts, and that is what I've done here in interpretation of the question. The first part, or the first view of this question, is that it is good to share as much information as possible freely. That is in scientific research, business, and the academic world. Now, the other view, or the other side of this question, is that there are other people who believe that information should not be shared freely. So, simply stated, on the one hand, it is good to share freely. On the other hand, it is not good to share freely. So we have two views that are competing here. Now the question tells you, discuss both these views and give your own opinion. So in IELTS, we can have marks for task achievement. And you will realize that if you do not discuss both views as required by the question, then you will not get all the marks. So you have to discuss both views, both sides, for you to garner all the marks. And you have to give your opinion. Do not neglect this. You need to give your opinion. You also need to consider the fact that you are told to give reasons for your answer, and you need to include examples. So the things that you see me highlighting in yellow are really very important in this task. First, we have the first view, then we have the second view. So the question needs us to discuss both views, and we must give an opinion And in supporting what we are discussing in each of the views, that is in the body paragraphs, we must give reasons, and we must support our reasons with examples. So if I may go to interpreting the question, that is exactly what I've talked about. The first view, the other view, reasons, examples, opinion, and conclusion. So it is very important to know how to interpret the question so that when you go to writing, you will not confuse yourself. So when I scroll down there, you will see that I have made a sample plan. And please note, you will not get any marks for doing a sample plan or a plan or an outline. Others may call it an outline. You will not get any marks. But the reason for me to emphasize that you need to have a plan is because they are marks for a good organization and a good flow, and also meeting all the parts or the requirements of the task. So when you have a plan, it's easier for you to not leave anything when doing your essay. So in this sample plan, we have a 5-paragraph structure, whereby the first one is the introduction, the second one is the first body paragraph, the third one is the second body paragraph, the fourth is the opinion, and the last one is the conclusion. So in the introduction, we usually have a restatement of the thesis or a background statement, a restatement of the topic, or rephrasing the topic, or a background statement. And then we must have a thesis statement. A thesis statement is a statement that tells you or tells your reader what the essay will be about. So in this case, the introduction just introduces the topic area. And in this case, I said the question on whether to share information freely remains controversial. So I am introducing the topic area in which my topic is based, or from where my topic has come from. My thesis statement is incorporating some of the ideas that I'm going to discuss in the essay, and I have stated it in such a way that I am showing both sides. I am showing both views in one sentence called the thesis statement. So just if I may read it for you, it says, while sharing information has some benefits in the society, such as enhancing public safety and knowledge, leakage or access to some sensitive information can pose grave dangers to our population. Now, the first body paragraph, remember here I'm just planning. I'm also calling it the first view. I will have a topic sentence which will say, there are many reasons to share information freely. Because in the first view, I will be supporting the fact that sharing information freely is good. So I will have 2 reasons there, reason 1 and reason 2. So remember, the instructions also needed me to support with the examples. So I will have this reason and an example, this other reason and an example. When I come to the second view, which will come to my second body paragraph, I will have this topic sentence. Some information is too critical to be shared freely. That means it is not good to share freely. Again, I'll have one reason with an example, the other reason with an example. When I come to the opinion, I'll just give my opinion. And the most important thing here is that I need to use first person pronouns. First person pronouns. These are pronouns that indicate I, my, on my, in regard to when you are giving an opinion, the words you can use. Now, for the conclusion does 2 things. One, it states and it restates what you have done. And secondly, it recommends. So in the conclusion, I will be restating what I have said, and I will also be recommending any needed changes. Now, let's look at the sample essay. Here it's written sample answer, but generally this is sample essay. So in the sample essay, I have the first sentence with the first paragraph, which is the introduction, and this is how it reads. The question on whether to share information freely has remained controversial for a long time. On the one hand, many people, remember here now, what I'm doing is that I am restating or rephrasing the topic, the specific topic. So just to explain this, my first paragraph, my first sentence is a background statement. Its work is to only introduce the topic area. Now the second sentence, I rephrase the topic, the specific topic that we have. And here I rephrased it using two sentences. Because it is a two-part question, it is a two-sided question, it is a two-view question. So I stated it like this. On the one hand, many people hold that information should be shared freely. Others assert that some restrictions should be considered in data sharing. Now, this is my thesis statement. While sharing information has some benefits in the society, blah, 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 leakage, like that, like that. Now, what you may note is that I am talking about these two views after introducing them. So here I've introduced two views, and then I kind of summarize them with a thesis statement, which shows the reader what my essay will be discussing. All right, so let's proceed and see the first body paragraph. So that's the first body paragraph, and you can see I have indented my paragraphs very well. So it says this: there are many reasons to support sharing information freely. That is called a thesis statement. Once someone reads that's called a topic sentence. Once someone reads this, they are able to tell that the paragraph will be discussing the reasons for sharing information freely. That's why I'm saying there are many reasons to support. So I start with firstly, where I give my first reason. Firstly, free information sharing enhances public safety and security. Then I give an example. Remember, giving examples was required. For example, disseminating scientifically proven health messages helps people to keep safe from communicable diseases such as COVID-19. Secondly, that's my second reason. Sharing information freely enhances business knowledge and promotes affordable education, full stop. In business, that's an example in business now, people access free information easily and grow their ventures. In education, that's another example now, but in education, because the question had 3 prongs, people spend less to access information, which makes acquiring education affordable. Therefore, sharing information is very beneficial. So this sentence is called a summarizing sentence. So what you may note is that we are opening a paragraph with a topic sentence. Then we expand this paragraph by giving reasons and examples. Like this is first reason, this is second reason. Then we close the paragraph with a closing sentence or summarizing sentence. Now let's go to the second body paragraph and see whether that's what I have done. However, remember now I'm showing the other view. When you're showing the other view, it is important to use a word like however, on the other hand, words that show contrast. However, some information is too critical to be shared freely. In other words, it is not good to share. So I continue explaining my first reason. Governments can choose to withhold military information because of the likely danger its exposure poses. For instance, this is another way of saying, for example, terrorists can take advantage of freely available information to harm the public. Additionally, this is my second point, or second reason. Additionally, information relating to copyrights can be stolen by competitors from other countries, leading to losses of revenues. Such leakages can as well discourage content creators and others because they may not benefit fully from their work. That's an example. Then I close the sentence with a closing sentence. As such, I close the paragraph with a closing sentence. As such, caution is necessary when handling data. Data is just another word for information. So when you check, you can see my fourth paragraph is small because of the word count restriction. And my fourth paragraph is the opinion paragraph. It has 3 sentences. In my opinion, I have said that deliberately. You can see I've used the word in my opinion because I want the examiner to know I'm now giving my opinion, or the reader. In my opinion, information should be shared with caution. Full stop. Simple, nice sentences which are grammar error free. Considering the benefits associated, it is not wise to entirely refuse to share information. Full stop. However, sensitive information should be withheld. Now, this is my conclusion. To sum up, both supporters and opposers of sharing information have valid reasons. Now, that is called a restatement. I am stating something about the opposers and supporters of the views. Now, this is a recommendation. Governments and other institutions should be careful when sharing information to keep the public safe. Full stop. And that's all about the both views essay. Maybe I can just summarize what I have said for the sake of better understanding. Now, when you get a question, interpret the question well. Know what is required of you, then come up with a sample outline like I have done. So that's a sample outline. For both views essay, you will have 5 paragraphs. That is the introduction, body paragraph 1, body paragraph 2, then a small paragraph for your opinion, and lastly, the concluding paragraph. Thank you very much for following this sample and watching. If you are preparing for you need assistance with writing, especially writing task 2 or even writing task 1, do not hesitate to get back to us and we shall assist you in all types of writing in IELTS. You can also check, leave comments if you have them, and we shall address them accordingly. So I want to wish you all the best. Thank you again for following up.